And that brings it back to the egalitarian system that's in place, because I think it's easier for a guy like Brandon Ingram to buy in when he can feel, even in the possessions when he's not touching the ball, like he's a part of the primary action. Like he's not just spacing out in the corner. One thing you and I often lamented in New Orleans was that he and Zion didn't have better synergy together, more interactive synergy. And I think a part of that was that it was tough for Ingram to feel like he was involved in his off-ball possessions, because Zion carried such a large weight with him in terms of not just his usage, but the types of possessions he likes to initiate. It's just different than what's going on in Toronto, when you'll see quickly dribble the ball across half court, flip it to Pirtle, go and set a screen for Ingram, set a pin down. Then Ingram will go get the handoff and flip to Barnes. It's like everyone is a part of this thing. And it doesn't always, obviously, because only one person can shoot the shot, it doesn't always end with a shot for each particular player on any particular possession. But it does feel like everyone is involved quite often. And to just put the cherry on top with this coaching thing, because I think you made such a good point about how they balance pushing the ball in transition versus the times they are in half court. I think they really have looked at this roster and leveraged the particular skill sets of the roster. And to be honest, that's why Brandon Ingram may have been a really important signing, because if you look at before Ingram came, Quickley and Barnes, their two best players, I would say while they're very, very additive to one another and high synergy as a tandem, and the data backs that up tremendously, I think the one thing they share in common where there's some redundancy is they kind of both struggle in these end game situations when it does slow down. Like Quickley, for all of his strengths as a mover and a spacer and an off-ball defender, sometimes you've seen him struggle late in these games in initiating offense and creating his own shot. He's never been, even though he is this year, he's never been a particularly great attacker of the rim. He's got that floater. He's kind of small, so it's, when they're allowed to play more physical, it's just tougher for him to create more shot. And then you've got Barnes, who's like kind of figuring it out as an on-ball initiator, never really fully embraced being the screener, even though I do think I've seen some good things there. And so Ingram kind of is just filling that gap. And you saw it again against the Hornets. It's like they need a bucket. They go to Ingram. Their last two possessions down the court, he scores himself, and then he also sets up RJ cutting to the hoop. So it's just like Ingram actually fits really, really well with the style that they want to play. And I think that both of us would have said, knowing that Darko wants to play this motion offense in this egalitarian system, we both would have said, oh boy, Brandon Ingram, that's not his type. And kudos to him for really, really buying in.